it's not happening all the time, and that is the reason why Singapore, as RCSG themselves, with the support that they're giving to this team, that allowed them to really thrive in that kind of environment.
They have the tools and resources. Speaking about tools and resources, they've already taken some
Great
away
man.
from Myanmar. The Natalia
Yep.
has been removed by Singapore. Great read here by their counterparts. And Myanmar just banning out some, few meta heroes.
Do
The
they-
one in the Kaja.
Do you think they ban Franco here for Singapore?
Why are you guys looking at me? Yes,
Well,
exactly.
you're the guy who pointed it
No,
out.
no. Here's the thing. It's not the problem. Is it's not a ban-worthy pick in my opinion.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
Interesting.
I think it can
Understandably.
be kind of stolen, but otherwise, if they let it through, it's not a this is the ban-worthy pick
Wait,
right there.
Let me confirm, both Lossi and Roy are playing.
Yeah, that's both Lotz and Roy. That's right. So,
So-
it is 505 that didn't play. I think Roy will be delegated into the mid lane because of it.
Support, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's registered as a support player for SG. Used to be the Rome, I believe, when they
Rome
played
substitute.
their MPL. But now both of them are fielded in this roster. So maybe two tanks, two tanks for Singapore. Never know.
Something that I'm really looking forward to seeing is the Grok, because I'm sure that Myanmar already read into the possible Franco ban or steal.
Yeah.
So maybe options for the
Yeah.
Rome are actually better.
Okay, so Joy is open. I think that Singapore will not let that through for sure.
Yeah.
The only trade that I'm looking at when it comes to those two heroes will be the Arlet. But you also open up the fact that Myanmar can just pick up the Franco afterwards. So those are two considerations. But I think that in general, especially in a best-of-1 match, you want to get the OP heroes as much as possible.
Power picks as well. So okay, Joy has been first picked by Singapore. Possible Franco coming up from Myanmar.
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Then
So
you get
one-
Farsa maybe?
2 for 1. I mean, sorry,
2 for
the
2.
2 for 2. There you go.
Arlet.
Arlet. Okay, 3 for 3. Wow, this is a great panel.
Not playing around.
Yeah.
This is a great panel. I love this
Yep.
panel.
We know our stuff.
Yeah. Singapore, they play Ruby though. They, Ruby DD is on the other side, but they play Ruby. They play Grok as well.
Let's get gold maybe though here in this pick, right?
Yeah.
Gold is a possibility.
I
'cause they
do
want to
think-
secure that.
I don't think gold is a possibility. So Baby Cakes maybe getting his signature Beatrix
Beatrix, yeah.
Yeah.
on the gold lane for Singapore.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
They steal it away from Myanmar.
Yeah.
That's actually there's a great answer. And that's Beatrix that you were talking about. Still on point.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Four out of
We
five.
missed the support pick, but yeah, it's fine.
I get it why. I get why because it's always banned out.
Yes, yes.
So
go-
do you take carry or Farsa here if you're Myanmar?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think-
Farsa might not be the choice because of the presence of the
Yeah.
Kadira, so it could be different. Something maybe Myanmar will be thinking about their
Maybe Lancelot
Usual.
for Ken. Oh yeah, Ken was the first player
Lancelot.
to utilize the
The
Tancelot.
OG, the OG Lance
OG.
tanks a lot. That's
Yeah.
it's going to be a pleasure to see that here though.
it is.
I wonder if it's going to come through.
I think this is where you break it out, right? If you're Myanmar, you have
But I
the
think-
chance to take it.
What about the carry though? I think it's still.
I mean, after the last game,
Alright, the Farsa.
Let's
Alright,
go
we
for
got
the
it.
Farsa.
We
So,
got it.
5 out of 6.
Alright.
They're playing risky.
Although we're-
This is risky.
Although we're naming a lot of heroes here, but 5 out of 6. That's
5 out
still
of 6,
considered
that's pretty good.
the Farsa pick. And I think. Well, I'm not allowed to think. What do you think?
No, you are allowed to think.
You can, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
where'd you get that
I
idea?
think I agree with Wolf. The Farsa pick was just too early. Like, you could have reserved it for second phase.
It's so risky because you already know you're gonna have a hard time against
yeah,
Kadita.
and I don't think Singapore would have, put their eyes onto that
There's
pick.
the Grok going out.
Grok's been removed, especially against Singapore. Again, they do love getting those Groks,
Yeah.
even though they have Ruby DD on their side.
I'm thinking Myanmar eventually will ban out Atlas because it's a good hero combination with all the heroes of Team Singapore. It's decent versus the Franco. But I think that we have proven all throughout MLBB women's and MLBB men's so far with what we have seen that Grok is a much more potent answer to the Franco.
It's a much more
Reliable. Yeah.
especially during the early game. Because Atlas, I think it's too weak in the early game. Okay, Lancelot gets taken out, so there's no chance for Ken. We'll be seeing different heroes come out from Myanmar now. Fredden is still open, however. So, the staple junglers are still out there. The
It's a bit-
Akais, these typical jungler picks that we're used to seeing in MLBB.
Yeah.
For Myanmar, it feels like the better option. The Fredrin kind of balances offense to defense. And for the Akai, it means that
Yeah.
you're gonna go for a very, very strong, hard
Yeah.
carry
Yeah.
gold lane.
It's crazy though, because Akai and Arlet sync so well. With
Yeah.
heavy spin, you have unlimited marks. with the
Yeah,
vengeance.
exactly. It's a new stun after a new stun.
Yeah.
It's a refreshed stun.
Arlet becomes Lancelot
Which kind of
suddenly.
makes me think that Myanmar actually might consider that. I'm only thinking two heroes into Great Man of the Mincetar, by the way.
I was gonna say it's so weird because I was expecting what if Myanmar was watching MPL
Yeah.
Philippines and they go for that
They go
combo,
for it.
but they ban it out. That's so
Yeah.
weird for me.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm pretty sure that they might pick up something like somewhere along the lines of a Martis or a Kai, their fourth pick actually, which is gonna be great. Then they can wait for the right moment to pick up their gold laner into that last pick. So I think Singapore between Akai and Martis, you ban those two heroes.
You know what's crazy though is that Minster could have worked with the roster like for Myanmar, but they decided to opt it out, and I think
Interesting.
it is a respect against the large hero pool
Yeah.
of both Roy and Lolsi. Lorita is still actually open too.
I think yo, there's the Martis
Wow.
right here. So you pick up Akai here.
Wolf
I think
is on a roll.
the reason why Minster was banned out because you don't have a slot for it anymore. You already have the Arlot
What?
and
We're calling this lineup.
Fredrin.
Fredrin. I would have preferred Akai honestly for Myanmar, but yeah, 6 out of 8 I believe, or
Yeah,
5 out of
6 out of
7.
8.
5 out of 7.
Five.
6 out of 8. No, 5 hours.
No, 5 out of 7 because
Yeah.
we still have 3 picks left.
So with the Fredrin in there and the Martis, this is Akai, right?
Akai Loli.
Yeah, Akai Lolita.
Oh,
Khalid.
what?
Wait.
Okay.
Khalid?
Khalid DXP, Joy Jungle.
Yep.
I don't think.
I would not have called that.
I don't think it
It's
works
not
against
optimal.
Arlot though.
Yes.
Yep. You go Brody here if you're Myanmar, right? If you want to be a little bit more, I would say, with late game security kind of draft, you might go for a
Carry.
Claude or a
Yeah, Claude. They love it as well on Myanmar.
Yeah.
But with the presence of the Joy and the Khalid, yeah, carry should be the choice.
I've been
Yeah,
waiting
okay,
for too
na-
long.
There
Yeah.
it is.
I think I believe that was 7 out of 10.
Not bad.
This panel is
That
amazing.
Khalid threw us off.
yeah,
man.
it's the Khalid, the Kufra, and the Kadita, the 3Ks that we did not.
Singapore.
All
Singapore
case.
Yeah, okay.
Draft's
Okay.
weird.
You know,
But we
Uh,
did say that there could be a flexibility with their XP lane, right? So
Yep,
that is
that
the
is true.
Khalid.
that is true. That is the factor of Diablo
Yep.
playing in this lineup. We've seen
Asterisk.
a lot of curveballs and a lot of these tournaments, especially during MPLIs. Actually, we've seen a lot of curveballs coming out from Diablo, and right now it is up against, I would say, a bad matchup. Khalid versus Arlot. I'm not sure how confident you're gonna be able to run it up against the Arlot of Myanmar, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know, this lineup from Singapore, it could work because there's a lot of aggression on their side. But for you, what do you think about the matchup between these two teams?
Pretty solid
Especially
for
with the draft.
Pretty solid for Myanmar. I think the only way for, well, not really the only way, but one of the bigger ways for Singapore to win this in the early stages, because that's the main focal point of their lineup. What if they actually rotate their mid lane to the XP lane sooner, so that they might get a kill? Maybe that could be
Oh.
the answer.
Okay, I'll see. Starting the aggression here in the early game. Again, this is the best of one match between Singapore and Myanmar, the second match of Group B. And you're seeing the flexibility already of RSG or Team Singapore. And Diablo's rocking a high and dry emblem, by the way.
That is interesting. One of the reasons why we didn't really see this Kufra is because this lineup from Myanmar is actually designed to punish heroes like the Kufra, where you are tanky, you have a carry.
Diablo,
And
though.
beautiful movements being done here by Singapore right now. That's some first blood.
Oh, well done. As we were talking about how the early game should be good for Singapore, and already they are starting with the kill onto Justin.
Wolf is predicting not just the draft, but early movements as well coming out from Singapore. That move onto mid was what allowed that to happen for Singapore. They got a first skill on the board here, but Myanmar is looking to settle the score as Lolsi falling really, really low, and Ruby D will be able to get that kill. And Diablo just watching his friend turn to ashes here, and Lolsi will respond
Yeah.
in about a second, and Singapore is eyeing that turtle.
Braze XP was just not quite there
Yeah.
for the vengeance play, so
Yep.
Nice try there from Singapore.
Yeah, it's going to be the turtle fight. I'm imagining what could happen. By the way, Ruby DD went for Unbending Will, so expect a lot of damage from Ruby DD, which we know that is his playstyle. A very aggressive, high-octane kind of player. There it is, turtle fight!
And there it is, Ken securing that absolutely destructive Appraiser's Wrath.
Oh, Naomi!
There we go! The X Factor plays coming in from Naomi. Once more, netting a kill and an objective for Myanmar.
Okay, I've finally seen the screen equivalent of basketball in MLBB. That was a very good layover for the Kufra. He was on top. He was on top of the Joy.
For sure.
Oh my goodness. Ken, by the way, I'd like to credit this guy because that was a telegraph veteran play. But then again, you still get amazed when you see it.
Yeah.
Appraiser's Wrath into the Retribution.
Oh, quite easily there. Lolzy, nice dodge
Appraiser's Wrath
onto
here.
the Iron Hook means that's going to be another kill for Singapore. So far, boys, this is blow by blow.
Yeah, Myanmar. I was about to say, you know what? It's a brethren, but it's still amazing to see plays like that because it boils down to the fundamentals.
no way! Oh, man!
Oh, Lozzie! He went back!
Naomi!
He could have.
He could have, yeah.
Could have lived. Well, I think you could argue that Lossie thought that he was for sure dead because Justin still had 3 charges on the Predator strike. But still, you know, chances were there.
That felt like I was watching a movie and I saw someone bending a bullet the way Naomi just executed that play.
Look at Naomi.
We were just talking about the fact that they should ban Franco, and already you get 2 massive hooks coming out from Naomi.
Don't get too excited though. We saw this last game. We saw
Oh,
this
that's
last
true.
game.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yes, we have learned our lessons.
We've seen a team pull off amazing Franco plays, but it has to translate into late game. And you know what's crazy? They are rocking the carry. So this is quite the same setup, although different lineup.
And the Farsa as well. And the
Farsa.
Fredrin.
Oh, no.
But on the flip side, all of them are on the same side.
Exactly. All the main players. All right. So
Well, they don't have Paramis on the opposite end.
Yeah.
though, so-
Don't
No
get,
Paramis.
yeah, just don't get your hopes up. Oh, nice dodge from Ken. Wow.
that's how you do it. You know, it's not always forward, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
always forward. You can always go backwards.
That's a pretty good movement. That secures Myanmar the space that they need to secure, or at least try to go for the
Oi.
secure on Turtle. Everyone's going up here with the Breath of the Ocean. Beautiful moving in. Oh my god, Bray's actually quite low.
Oh my
Ken still gets a double, and
goodness.
the Turtle. Can they get more? And they will. That's 4 down for Singapore.
Oh my god, this Ken's guy's too good.
Yeah. And I want to say that was very fundamentally good for Myanmar. Just, I mean, it looked really flashy, right? It looked really like high up there whatsoever. But the way that we read through the draft, this is exactly what the draft promises for Myanmar. You wanted to go for those kind of engagements. You make sure that Ken will outplay the opponent's jungler because of that Appraiser's Wrath into the Retribution.
Yeah.
In that case, man, Naomi just played so well, and also Ruby Didi. We are going to see it in action once again.
I wish there was a slow-mo. There were too many
was-
things to watch
Dude,
here.
that energy eruption from Ken saved.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my goodness, saved Naomi's life. And alongside that, after the pushback with the abrasive strat, he was able to secure Turtle. And now they're just steamrolling over Singapore.
Yeah. Wonder what they will be, how they will be approaching this. Again, this is wow. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So typically, as the Arlet, you go for tenacity, right? As Ken will be trying to go for a kill onto Lolsey. Unlikely, unless he keeps on doing it.
Yeah, but he's charging up. He has abrasive strat.
Oh,
Try to cancel.
Oh, that's
Oh,
counterplay though.
Nice
And there
retribution
is going to
though.
be Ruby Didi close by. Final slash. Make sure that there is no follow-up from Singapore.
Oh, wow.
There's damage from Ruby Didi, by the way. So you have to really be mindful of that if you're Team Singapore.
I want friends like this, you know, this four-man defense around Zippy, just making sure that he's able to take out the turret on the bottom lane without any form of pressure. And Myanmar, again, is grouping up, capitalizing on their lead. Probably what we should have seen on the previous series, but Myanmar is now pulling out ahead. And in terms of execution, they are delivering, especially with Ken leading the charge on his brethren.
6 minutes in the game. Look at that. Zippy already almost done with the tier 2 turret on the bottom.
Yeah.
5.7k gold lead for Myanmar. However, this is still a carry versus a Beatrix.
They want to go for the killer to the Khalid. And they will be relying on their hook, but Zippy just taking advantage of one minion. Singapore already knows because it was a freshly taken turtle, which means that everybody else is around that vicinity. Myanmar traded the turtle for a turret in the bottom, turtle and turret,
Yeah.
in exchange for one bottom lane turret.
Yeah, no resource available here for Singapore. Myanmar has full control of the map. Ken will go back to his own jungle though with Zippy. Interestingly enough, he took the purple away from the Fredrin. So kind of a switch up to whoever is the priority right now. And Myanmar is feeling like the carry needs acceleration at the moment.
Okay, why do we feel this? I think that there was really literally just one factor from the previous game that allowed this draft from Myanmar to be now it's the better draft, right? And it was definitely just the Faramis. In the composition of what we saw before, it was literally the same 4 heroes in exchange for an Arla that actually acts like a Yuzhong anyways, but has more reliable ultimates because it's lower cooldown. So there were any kind of problems for Myanmar when it comes to activating their carry, because this time all of the heroes of Singapore.
Speaking about the Arlot,
Oh
there
man,
it is.
Lolzy.
Damage.
So much damage right now
Flicker
coming in
out.
from Myanmar. Lolzy not going to be long for this world. Baby Cakes and Roy making a run for it now. There's barely anything that Singapore can do to stop the plays of Myanmar.
yeah, Myanmar not caring about the consistency and stability of Singapore's roster. They're showing why they're a strong team, this dynamic duo between Justin and Naomi. And of course, Ruby Didi showing up with a veteran experience, utilizing the Arlet like what Wolf was mentioning earlier. He has damage, he has setups. Why not use it?
How poetic would it be if Myanmar gets into the finals and plays against Team Philippines?
Oh my goodness.
Arcangel going up against
Okay.
Ruby Didi.
Prediction right there. Philippines and Myanmar. in
That
the
might
grand
actually
finals.
settle a very long-standing comparison.
yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
it's been a
between
long
them,
time.
I mentioned M2 earlier. That affair started on that tournament,
Yep, that's right.
And there has been no ending with that story. So it is a possibility that we see it come to fruition in SEA Games. But Myanmar has to, of course, come
Yeah,
out of
it's
their groups first.
It's just the first
Yeah.
set of matches, so yeah.
Gotta be Indonesia first, guys. Come on.
Conceal.
And now it's gonna be Myanmar. They are now pushing Singapore on the ropes. Although there is a play from Bray that's possible on top side.
Yeah.
I don't know what he can do with this.
Yeah, I
It
don't
looks
think
like he
so.
doesn't know either, so he's gonna back off.
Yeah, I gotta say, Myanmar realizes how weak this Joy is when put in a jungle
Yeah,
role. If you
it's-
don't give him the fights,
Exactly.
he's not gonna be able to establish that momentum. And Myanmar has been playing objective
Yeah.
since
So-
minute 1.
Beautiful movements coming in for Justin. He's actually able to zone out.
Lolzy!
Lolzy, that was way too far back. Roy goes down without a fight. It is a 4v5.
Naomi!
Naomi, oh my goodness. Someone stop this guy. He's just going loco right now.
Oh,
But
Bray,
there's
Bray.
the backline play from Bray. It's a double from the Singaporean jungler.
2v3.
Do they want to push this? Well, they do have a minion in the bottom lane, minion wave.
And
I
if they
mean,
can.
can they actually? Beatrix?
Oh, 5 seconds at the Kufra.
Yeah, that's it. They're just gonna be farming it out.
Yeah.
Well, not coming out from Myanmar with the hook again coming out from Naomi, and I would ditto what Midnight have said. Jungle Joy is weak because he cannot have the one-shot potential, unless of course you saw in that fight where the entirety of the backlines of Myanmar were low anyways, like half HP on the Farsa. If it's just a normal jungling Joy without any kind of pokes from his teammates,
Yeah.
he will not be able to kill Justin. But because they're low anyways, there's that factor. However, they had to sacrifice a lot for that play. That is the main weakness of the jungle Joy.
Yeah, and seeing this draft from Singapore and now that the items, I just feels like there's no tank, like there's no front line, there's no actual front line.
Deadly item coming from Justin. This is now you're countered. The Joy definitely countered. With a winter truncheon play.
Yeah,
Winter
you can
truncheon,
just
bro.
you can stand the ground, enjoy the dance being laid out by Bray. Let's just watch it for the entire 2 seconds.
Exactly.
And yeah, this is a big problem for Singapore. Aside from the fact that they lack damage, they lack front line. They severely lack front line. And attempt from Lotzi to engage against Ken, but no follow-up damage.
It's very unlikely that there was
Flicker out.
result.
Flicker. Oh, the taunt!
A beautiful energy eruption. Nowhere for Lolzy to go.
He
The
hailed that,
row,
by the way.
man.
He
Oh.
hailed that.
Myanmar, all the players are superstar trigger.
Yeah. Now-
Literally, Naomi, his signature Franco, right? You can see that even Ken, we know that he excels on those assassin junglers. But even with the Fredrin, knowing your windows
Yeah.
with the spells and landing it perfectly,
All right.
really leading in this game.
Nice attempts from Brig once more to just try to get some info. Try and see if he can pick someone off. It's just not happening for
It's
SG so
hard.
far.
It's hard for Singapore, man. Like Myanmar, there's a reason why they have been able to, clinch the top spots, even amongst the, amongst top teams in international tournaments. Although we haven't seen much of them lately, this is still the same roster that proved a lot of the fans wrong last MSC, as they were able to outperform different teams. And Singapore right now, they are the victims of this Myanmar spotlight, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. Now,
Ooh, hook.
Ooh.
Scary hook!
final dash!
Once more, it's Lolzy going down immediately. Bray on the back line.
On
This
the
time
bite.
around with the
And the
suppress
bite.
coming in from Naomi will be enough to stop Singapore in their
Ooh,
tracks.
no.
Baby Cakes and Diablo all alone. And there it goes, not even. The Kali will be able to slow this down. Baby Cakes is still alive though. Flickers in. Naomi's actually a little bit has immortality. And that's going to be the cleanup. It's a wipeout. Myanmar takes the game.
That's business for Myanmar. Objective and clean, methodical approach as they win over Singapore 1-0 in their first match here in SEA Games.
Not even breaking the sweat, right?
Yeah,
That's how you use an early game advantage.
that's how you
just
trigger superstar abilities.